Otitoju to the stage. John and Natasha. Come on, give them a big clap. Come on, a big clap as they come forward. Can we get a microphone for them, please? Thank you. And I'm going to get the gentleman to introduce. Go ahead. Can you introduce your wife and yourself and your wife to the congregation?
This is my lovely wife, Natasha, and John.
John and Natasha. Come on, give them a clap. Okay. First question. Are you ready? Okay. Now you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Amen. And and the congregation promised to not to tell anybody else, Facebook, Twitter, or anybody else, the truth. Okay. First question, John. How did you meet Natasha?
I met her at a friend's house.
At a friend's house? Is that correct? Were you matched up, or you both just happened to be there?
She happened to be there.
She happened to be there. What was your first impression, Natasha, of John?
This guy is very handsome.
Yeah, just one by one. He was very handsome. What was your first impression of Natasha?
This is my wife.
You knew that in that minute that she was your wife?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. How do you know something like that? How did you know a total stranger was your wife?
Without getting too spiritual.
No, not too spiritual.
I prayed for her.
You prayed for her. And so when you saw her, you knew.
Just knew.
That was like, was that Jacob, or who was that in the Bible that when they saw the woman, they knew that was the wife? I can't imagine. Yeah? Okay, now, how did you ask her? Who asked who out? Or how did that happen? We can leave the lights on. You want to see their pictures? Oh, yeah, that's fine. You can see. Who asked who out?
John asked a friend to ask me.
They can't hear you, everybody.
John asked a friend to ask me for my phone number, but he never called me. And then we were just really good friends for a little while, and then finally, I guess he asked me out.
Games men play.
Okay. How long? What were you thinking about the whole time you were waiting for him to call?
Is this guy gonna call me?
And John, what were you doing all that time? Praying?
Thinking about it.
You were thinking about it.
No, I wasn't sure if she would say yes or no, actually.
Okay, so how was your first date?
It was awesome. We went to see End of Days, and we realized how many things we had in common spiritually. We talked the entire time about God, and we spoke the entire time about God, and how we just realized how we connected spiritually. For two people who were in the world, we partied a lot, just to realize that we had this in common. It was awesome. It was awesome.
John.
Yes, same feeling. I was a partyholic until I met her. I knew that spiritual part of me was really important. So to meet her and see somebody that we shared the same thing, to me was the greatest thing.
Okay. So who proposed to whom?
She told you I did.
You did. Where did you propose?
In the car, and I can explain that.
Okay, please explain. Is that a new thing or?
No, it wasn't a new thing. So I called her mother. She was all the way in Jamaica that I want to marry her daughter.
That's a good thing. Take note.
And at the same time, I've told my parents that this is the woman for me.
That's a good thing. Take note.
In the midst of me planning, I booked a hotel at Banff Springs Hotel, thinking that we go there and we love to travel. Actually, we love to do different things. At that place, I would propose. One of the things that her and I started a relationship with is no secret between us. No matter what, just say it, say how it is. Told her everything about me. She told me everything So in that feeling, I could keep a secret. So I said in the car, I said, yes, I was really anxious.
And in love.
Yes, I was in love too.
So you were anxious to get it over with?
Just to get it over with, because we kept it for like 3 weeks without her knowing, her mom, my parents, everybody. So I just said to her, I said, babe, I asked your mother if you will marry me. She's like, what? I said, I asked your mother if you will marry me. I think she said, come again or something like that. Because we were just talking about something and I just brought it up. So yes, that's how it happened.
So why did you have to go through the parents, your parents and her parents?
I'm a traditional guy.
Go on, please. So what was the process? You called?
Well, for me, I truly believe that when we marry, it's not just us. Yes, there's other part of the family that is really important. One of the areas for me I like to do is bring people together. So you know that I'm from Nigeria, from Africa, she's from Jamaica. I thought, having that key family values between both families will be important. So, and I cannot do anything at that magnitude without including her family. So that was my main reason why.
Amen. Okay, so how long have you guys been married?
This year we'll be married for 7 years.
7 years. What is married life like for you?
Married life for me, I told this to somebody else so I remember, is a blessing.
John, what is marriage life like for you?
I agree it's a blessing, but it's also a time for me to get to know somebody that you thought you knew before, but every day I found out new things about her. To me, that's so special.
Two more questions and that's it. What advice would you give to single people who are looking to get married, who are looking for a partner? We have some single people in our church. And also if you know some really good friends that are really spirit-filled, I'm sure they'll be interested. What advice would you both give to single people who are looking to get married from your own perspective?
I'd say wait on yourself. It's the most important thing that I have learned, is to just wait on yourself and know that God has somebody for all of us. Don't step outside of what you expect from someone. Nobody's perfect, but spiritually, don't go against what you believe in. Believe in yourself and know that God has somebody for you. Don't go around with all these people believing that one of them will be for you. As my mom always says, just sit, wait on yourself, respect yourself so they will respect you, and it will happen by God's grace.
John?
I can't say anymore. One of the key things for me is waiting. No matter what, don't settle for anything. Just wait and it will come.
Final question. You guys have been married for 7 years. How do you overcome the challenges and issues of your marriage? What have you learned, in overcoming issues in your marriage that you would share with other couples?
As I said earlier, one of the key things in our relationship is that spirituality aspect of it. One thing I believe is, as long as we are different, there's always going to be conflicts, differences of opinion. But one thing that we've shared in common is when those conflicts come, is we turn to God to minister to me personally, to see the way she sees it, and I believe she does the same thing as well. To me, it makes it a lot easier to go through conflicts, and I always tell her, I got her back, she got my back, vice versa. So that's the key thing for us. That's spirituality aspect.
Natasha?
I believe that when a couple knows God, when each of them knows God, it's a difference. Like, no matter who gets hot-headed, you know the fundamental of your marriage, or the fundamentals of marriage. So you always want to come back. I I guess, would say to God, or just even coming back and sitting down and realize that, okay, what I've done is wrong, or what he's done is wrong. How do I make him understand? How do I make her understand? And one thing my mom told me when I got married, and I'm just learning it now, is she said sometimes you have to give up your right for a peaceful life. And I have learned, and I'm just understanding that right now. So, not saying that you're going to settle because your husband says this is so you do it. But most of the times, like I do, I keep my mouth shut when I know that I'm right, and I let John believe that he is right. And I'm just silent, and he will come around and be like, oh, you know that you're right. I'm like, So giving up your right when you know that, just for a peaceful house. Because what I've learned, nobody outside is for you more than the person inside of your house. And you shouldn't be for anybody else more than the people who are in your house.
Give it up for John and Natasha.